What's good, everybody? It's Insta-reftaco, and today we're back with another video, and Week 11 is here. We got 14 games to predict. A lot of important games. We're kind of getting into the stretch where games have playoff implications. You know, we're starting to get into the good part of the season. Last week, I went 12-3 on the season. I am 105 and 45 and 48. Shout out to the guy that told me that my overall was wrong, because it was. And yeah, still no perfect games this year. I had the Bills-Colts at 30-20. Show the video. I had the Bills-Colts at 30-21 in the prediction. I changed it for no good reason. I go back into the version history, and I had it at 30-20. I don't know why I changed it. I never do that. I just write them down and go with them. Stupid, but we got 14 games. Let's predict them. Starting off, you have Thursday Night Football. The Commies going into Philly to take on the Eagles. Probably the biggest, division first place matchup that we've seen so far this year. When you look at the Commies, they didn't have a win last week. They played a pretty good game. The Steelers are a good team. They played them competitively. Did I think that they were going to win? Yes. They didn't. They're still a good team. The Eagles. I thought that it was going to be a close game against the Cowboys. But yeah, it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a good game. But at the end of the day, in Philly, also, I've never picked against the Eagles ever before. Yeah, I'm picking the Eagles. 24-20. They're just going to be able to do their job, stop Jaden Daniels enough. That defense is top tier, and their offense will do enough to get the dub and get themselves a pretty nice lead in the NFC East and a pretty good shot at that 2 seed. And you start off the 1 o'clock slate with the Raiders and the Dolphins in Miami. When you look at the Raiders, last week they were on a bye, but overall this year they haven't been great. They've been switching in and out quarterbacks. I think it's going to be O'Connell this week. I'm not sure. But it just hasn't been great for Vegas. Yeah, their defense hasn't been good. Antonio Pierce really hasn't been great. On the other side, you look at the Dolphins. They got themselves a win last week. They were in desperate need of one. They're technically second in the division. But yeah, they got a win. They did what they needed to do. And not a lot of people expected them to get a win. I did, because I'm smart. But yeah, that offense seems to be clicking again, at least enough. They didn't have a good red zone performance. I think that they'll be able to fix it. Get a 27-14 win over the Raiders. The Raiders have to wear black uniforms in Miami. I don't care that it's mid-November at this point. Still, black uniforms in Miami is too hot. So, yeah, but give me the Dolphins. They are a better team here. You got the Browns heading into the Superdome to take on the Saints. When you look at those Saints, they got a very good win last week. Coach Riz went in there and won a game that not a lot of people expected them to win. The Falcons were a very good team. I believe they were on a 2-game win streak. But, they were doing really well. And they went in there and they played a good game of football and they won. Yeah, I like what I've seen from the Saints this last week. When you look at the Browns, they had a bye last week. But before that, Chargers was bad. Ravens was good. I have faith in Jameis. I have faith that they can keep it close. But I really like what I've seen from the Saints, and I have them winning again 23-21. They'll be able to do enough. It looks like that offense was kind of back in the rhythm. Olave's on IR. But still, they're going to be able to get a win here over the Browns. Olave would have been locked up by Denzel Ward anyways, probably. But 23-21, Saints with a big win. They're still sort of competing, maybe. Then you've got the Colts heading into MetLife to face the Jets. I believe they're heading into MetLife. It's always, the team on the bottom is always at home. But yeah, when you look at the Colts, it's been bad. I think you should just put AR back in there. Yeah, Flacco's coming. He hasn't been good. Yeah. When you look at a team that's done even worse, take a look at the New York Jets. They are bad. Yeah, it's bad in New York. That's kind of all I have to say. Just just bad. Arizona killed you guys last week. Arizona's a good football team. But yeah, I don't see it getting better. These are two crappy teams. Well, one's a little less crappy, and I think that that's the Colts. Give me 16-14 in favor of the Colts. Jets have a lot of things to fix, and the Colts will be kind of staying afloat. You know, they'll sort of be in there enough. But, yeah, what I said, 16-14. You got the Vikings heading to Nashville to take on the Titans. When you look at those Vikings, it was a bad week last week. Darnold threw 3 interceptions. Jefferson didn't really get going. He was facing Tyson Campbell, I believe, who, he locked him down, which is pretty surprising for Justin Jefferson. Sam Darnold's kind of gotten off of his hot streak. I still think he's a decent quarterback. But, yeah, but they were still able to get a win. They were able to kick field goals. And just get the job done. I think they had a debut kicker from the UFL, and he did good enough. On the other side, you look at the Titans. It looked better last week on offense, to be honest. Levis looked pretty decent. Yeah, it's still not a good Titans team. The Vikings still have a very good defense. We saw them only allow 7 to the Jags, and I think that it'll happen again. 24-13, the Vikings, they'll get their red zone struggles figured out. They'll be able to win against this Tennessee team. Vikings defense also locked down. And you've got the Bears and the Packers. The long rivalry, I believe like 150 times they've seen each other. The two oldest teams in the sport. Yeah, when you look at the Packers, they had a bye last week. Overall, they've been playing good with or without Jordan Love. They're going to be with him, obviously. Yeah, but they've had a pretty decent year. They're sitting at 6-3. If they weren't in the North, they would be leading the West or the South. They've been really good. On the other side, you look at the Bears. Last week was horrendous. You lost to the Patriots and scored 3 points. The New England Patriots. I think that firing Shane Waldron was a good thing. Yeah, I think they'll get back on track a little bit, just not enough. 31-16, Packers own the Bears. And yeah, it's barely a rivalry. It's just called a rivalry because they play each other so much. Packers, yeah. You've got the Jags heading into Detroit to take on the Lions. When you look at the Jags, 7 points last week. That's bad. I think it's gonna get a little better. Or here, I shouldn't say that yet. It just wasn't a good game. The Vikings defense stuffed that offense down. They had Mac Jones in there. I think they'll have T-Law back, but just not a good performance. On the other side, you look at the Lions. They showed that they can play a game close and still win. If you can throw 5 interceptions and still score 26 points and win the game, freaking Jake Bates, man, that guy's a stud. I'm a Battlehawks fan. Kicked a 65-yarder or something in his first game against us, and we lost. That's annoying. He's good. The Lions are too good, and we're not going to be able to get the 1 seed from them, and they're going to finish 16-1. They're the best team in the league. 35-25. Give me the Lions. I love the Lions. They're my second favorite team. I hope that they win a Super Bowl. I don't want it to be this year, though, man. And they're too good. How do you throw 5 interceptions and still win the freaking football game? And the Jags just aren't great. I think that they'll get a little bit better on offense, put up 25 with T-Law, but not able to get the job done, obviously, against these. And you've got the Pats and the Rams in New England, I believe. Yeah, because the last one was in L.A. When you look at the Patriots, very good win last week. You played the Bears. You shut them down. 3 points, like, completely shut down those Chicago Bears. Yeah, it was a very solid performance. Yeah, that's about all that I have to say. On the other side, you look at the Rams. They played the Dolphins competitive-ish. They could have won at the end of the game if they handed the ball off to Kyron Williams a little bit more and didn't settle for all those field goals. Why am I so... every time, man. I'm stopped recording in the dark. But, Yeah, I think that the Rams will be able to pull this game out 21-18. I don't think that the Patriots are a great team. I think that the Bears are just bad. But yeah, they'll be able to get a win here, improve to 5-5, and still be sort of competitive in it. Guys, I don't like yellow. My phone is on some weird setting. Last off, the Ravens and the Steelers. A matchup that, to be honest, the Steelers have dominated recently in the rivalry, even though the Ravens have been the better team consistently. When you look at the Ravens, very good win last week. You put up 35 points. Your offense looked amazing. Your defense did not look amazing. You could not stop Jamar Chase, but you were able to get the job done, and that's what matters. When you look at the Steelers, 1-point win last week, the same as the Ravens. Also against the Commies, they were able to do what they needed to do to win when it mattered most. Mike Williams seemed like a good addition off of, the 5 seconds of one catch. But it was a very good win for both of these teams. But the Steelers have owned the Ravens. I know that the Ravens are the better team. I know that probably everybody is picking the Ravens. I'm picking the Pittsburgh Steelers. That team is 7-2. Yes, they have a very tough end of the schedule, but I think that they're going to be able to find a way to win here, and it's going to make the 8-2 collapse look even worse than the 7-2 collapse. Give me 20-19 if I didn't say that already, and give me the Pittsburgh Steelers because they win this rivalry, man. It is the 4 o'clock slate. Only 3 games in the 4 o'clock slate. You have the Seahawks and the Niners in San Fran. When you look at the Seahawks, last week they were on a bye. Before that, overall this year, they've been an okay team. The Bills game was not good. And yeah, but you've had some pretty decent wins. The Falcons was a great win. You obviously started off 3-0. You played decently against the Lions. The Seahawks are a very good team. They'll be able to compete with the Niners. And when you look at the Niners, they were able to beat the Bucs, who are a very good team. Even though they lose a bunch of one-score games, still a very good team. They were able to beat that team while missing 3 field goals. They're an amazing team. They got CMC back. They're fully healthy. I don't like it. I hate the Niners. Boo! Because all your fans, you're all wusses. You're all crybabies, jerks. But give me the Niners 28-22. Yeah, and yes, I am blaming the fans. And Debo's a jerk and Dre Greenlaw and Big Dom, Anyways, give me the Niners. And you got the Falcons heading to Denver to take on the Broncos. When you look at Atlanta, they're 6-4, yes. Or they lost last week, yes, but you're 6-4. You're a very good team. The Saints, they got your number last week, but you're going to be able to bounce back. You're a very good football team. Yeah, on the other side, you look at the Broncos. You were so close. Everybody's just been so close, but you can't beat those dark magic jerks. All the Swifties are all behind. The Chiefs are jerks, but that's the next game that we're going to talk about. The Broncos, they played a very good game of football. I feel like most of the public is picking the Broncos, but I have faith in the Falcons. I have the Falcons winning this game 27-16. I love the Broncos. I love what you stand for, but you're still not a very great team. Yeah, you should have beaten the Chiefs, though, jerks. It's time to further emphasize those jerks. We're talking about the Chiefs and the Bills. I believe it's in Buffalo. The Chiefs. Jerks, they use dark magic. They cheat with the refs. They don't actually cheat with the refs, But, that was pretty... Hey, can you alert me if he's close? Come on. You need to have a little better social awareness than that. He was talking about his guys in the line of scrimmage. But jerks, you keep winning, and I don't like it, all right? I want to see you lose because you fired... I don't know if you fired or if my uncle just left, but my uncle worked for the Chiefs. And then you got rid of him, and they started to win all these games. He's like a grand uncle that I met twice before, but still, I get some representation. Yeah, when you look at the Bills, very good team. Got last week. What'd they do? They did something decent. Josh Allen. Oh yeah, they beat the Colts. Yeah, you could have allowed maybe a touchdown, made it 30-21, jerks. But the Bills are a very good football team. I think that they're the Chiefs' biggest test. And in the regular season, they beat the Chiefs a lot. Give me the Bills. 24-17. They're going to do it. We say it every week. We're like, this is the team. They're getting close. They might do it. And they just don't do it. And that's probably how it's going to end up this week. But faith and heart is the number one thing that matters. And it is Sunday Night Football. They flex some game out of this for no good reason. The Bengals and the Chargers. When you look at the Bengals, they're 4-6, but they are a very good 4-6 team. We see this at the beginning of the year. They fall behind the 8 ball, and are they able to bounce back? Last year, it looked like they weren't going to be, and then their quarterback got hurt, and then they definitely weren't going to be, even though Jake Browning played amazing. But, yeah, you're just behind, but you're a good team. Like, the Bengals are, everybody knows the Bengals are a tough matchup. When you look at the Chargers, 6-3, very in it, very probably at the top of the wild. Oh no, the Ravens are technically, but you know you're in playoff position. You've had a very good season. I just don't think it continues. I have the Bengals winning 27-20. Bengals are a good team. They have to find a way to win these close games, and I think that they will. The question is just, are they going to be able to win the rest of these games and be able to really make a playoff push? It is Monday Night Football, the Cowboys, the Texans, and NRG, I think. It doesn't matter. We know what's happening in this game. The Texans played the Lions super competitively. They get Nico Collins back. Texans are a great football team. They should still be very proud of themselves for what they did to the Lions, causing 5 turnovers, making a guy crap himself. Yeah, the Cowboys, nothing's good in Dallas. Yeah, it's sad. And I love to see it. Give the Texans 31-10. This shouldn't be a close game at all. I should be able to fall asleep just fine and not be dying Tuesday in school because I'm very tired, because I'll be dead asleep by halftime. Boring. That's going to be it for this video. Hope that you guys enjoyed it. If it did, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.